Oh my God, creo que puse la mano. Primer selfie de salida al rancho Las Joyas. Continuamos la narrativa. Algo auspicioso, una vaquita. Se escuchan el agua que corre y algunos árboles cayeron anoche. El objetivo de esta narrativa es mostrar a ustedes el estado actual de cosas. Aquí hubo aquí hay ya una gran instalación de Telmex, que no sé muy bien para dónde va, pero que hace mucho ruido. Me acerco para que la escuchemos. Reportando Telmex. Estado de México. Bueno, esto es, una vez más, dear YouTubers, once again, I am walking on the path that goes out of my little hut. I will try to do this in English because my son, who is the main objective of this therapy, I call it film therapy this time. We had the corrido therapy on the YouTube show lately, and I haven't shared it with our psychologist Armando Quiroz, who is successfully having incredible presentations of his very old-fashioned but nice book on ¿Es pareja tu pareja? Ayer hablé con Lucelén. A mis amigos, yo la llamo Elena de Troya, porque en mis fantasías ella representa una gran guerrera de la perinatología. Y ayer tuvimos una conversación que me hubiera gustado tener frente a frente, aunque fuera por Skype y con el marido presente. Pero bueno, el asunto no es Luis Elena, el asunto es el rancho Las Joyas. El asunto es la narrativa. And I was speaking in English because I'm terribly pocha. Pocho is a term we use in Spanish from DF in the 60s that meant somebody who was English speaking and Spanish speaking. A person who would put like a champurrado. Oh, wait a minute, I forgot to take the beautiful pond and see how the mud is doing today, because yesterday there was a huge rain and the pond was terribly muddy. So I'd like to check on how the pond is today. Well, not so muddy as yesterday. Will it make focus by itself, or do I have to find focus here? Well, lately this is the only focus you get everywhere. Borders, frontiers, closed fences, closed doors, everybody in fear. When one should always be, excuse me, you see, I am unteethed. How do you say desdentada, with no teeth? And therefore, my speaking is not so clear as I wish. But labiodentales y labiales are very hard to pronounce, which are the B's and the V's, because the C's and the C's are always kind of whistled. By the way, this is my ranch. Ladies and gentlemen, the entrance to Chintamani Ashram is a safe place. Although sometimes they bring the troopers, they just hide them here for their nasty purposes. But still, it seems like a safe place. Okay, for YouTubers, Dr. Mireles is in jail. Oof. What is going to happen? We are lacking heroes. We are lacking the reality. La propiedad privada es el último recurso del tirano. La reserva ecológica es un lugar que debe de ser expuesto como un espacio de aprendizaje. Y aquí es una propiedad privada. La reserva ecológica, me imagino que pertenece al campamento Largo y Tierra, que originalmente era de los lasallistas. Oh my dear, my Canadian friends are not going to understand my Spanish. And of course, I may not have any Canadian friends, but still so, I'm getting myself a heart attack walking up to get my liquor. Bueno, la narrativa, la terapia fílmica, Robin, el objetivo, Robin, el hijo del ácido lisérgico, las mentiras de los gringos. Aparentemente, en mi fantasía intelectual de ignorante retrasada mental en mi familia. You know, YouTubers, there is a book by Garcia Marquez called maybe 100 Years of Loneliness or something like that, that explains very well the facts on the Latin American families in the beginning of last century, which is there was always a doctor like Mireles, a brave, wonderful, civilized human being with certain political ideas, but not necessarily dedicated to politics. Oh God, I gotta stop and breathe. Breathe without stopping. How am I doing in time? It's going to be a long video. As long as a long tree. Trinada pi sunichena. Tarore va sahishnuna. Amanina manadena. Kirtaniya Sadahari. Y una florecita por aquí. Pero bueno, unos hermosísimos árboles y un hermosísimo bosque. Para llegar a Chintamani tenemos que bajar por aquí. This, YouTubers, is an invitation to anybody who wants to come to the Reserva Ecológica Chintamani Ashram en vía de reparación hacia refugio de Vaishnavas. Originally Chintamani Ashram was built after my years and years and years of activism in the criminalization of grass. I finally found me a higher purpose for life, which was the school of the Vedantas. I had already, this is what I tell you, propiedad privada. Okay? Hopefully, no pedophiles. Just nice people. Over there is the way to the elementary school where my kids, but that is my grandchildren, kids I have under my care right now, have made their first steps on reading and writing in Spanish. Another mention is nice worker of Telmex got himself one of these beautiful lands and made himself a nice little house. Well, my little grandchild calls it the mansion of the Chihuahuas, because there's 4 little Chihuahuas or 3 little Chihuahuas caring for the property, and the owners are workers of Telmex. New people in the cofradia. Cofradia is like the neighborhood here in the camp, or I don't know the words in English, but we're not quite peasants, because we don't live off the earth, but rather have these little communities, aspirant of progress, that have in the bottom of the pots of all the inhabitants a certain like for the primitive life. Hola, ¿que salen a las 11:30? ¿Hoy salen a las 11:30? Pues yo ya voy por la mía porque me canso mucho de subir. Ahí los veo. Ya las tengo en YouTube, ¿eh? Mis vecinas del Emiliano y no Zapata. Emiliano de acá de la cofradía. Héroe. Zapatista. Muy mujeriego y creo que hasta medio mayatón. Del nieto de don Porfirio o del yerno de don Porfirio. Pero esos son secretos de estado, ya sabe que en México no se sabe nada. Ahí las veo, mis amores, voy por mi niña. This is a cofradia, and those are 2 beautiful women. The lady, the old lady, is the one that pulled the chair on the game the day at school where I fell on the floor and showed my panties to everybody and laughed and laughed and laughed because I didn't break anything, and it was hilarious the way I went boom kaboom to the floor. But that, dear Facebookers, is in the YouTubers. I got me a Google, a YouTube, and a Facebook. So I'm a total cyber chip, open and clear to all audiences. Oh God, almost there. This is the other part of the cofradia. Here lives a beautiful family that have this beautiful child who has gone to school with Rosita, both straight A students or whatever, however you have to say it. I'm always complaining about the noises I hear of my Robin when he's shooting his movies. And I'm doing just as well. Shooting a movie, making noises, and giving no message whatsoever. Just testimony. We were saying the Trinada Pi Sunichena. Tarore ba Sahijnuna Amanina Manadena Kirtaniya Sadahari over